It was an accident really that I found the FWBO. Well, an accident that I became a Buddhist. It was in 1990 that I met someone who was a Mitra, wasn't having a lot to do with the movement at the time, and he taught me the mindfulness of breathing. And at that point I realised that I'd meditated in my life before, but not really realised it was meditation, and I took to it and really pursued meditation without going to the Buddhist centre. And the first thing I ever went to was a talk by Vajragupta in 1992. I think it was part of the Brighton Festival actually. It was a public talk, and I realised that, well, I was a Buddhist, but I still thought, well, I'm a Buddhist, but I don't need to do anything about it. So, but I was quite excited by the talk, and I liked the idea of going on a retreat. So I went to Rivendell about a week later on a weekend retreat, and then booked a Triratna retreat for a couple of weeks after that. So once I'd found it all, I guess that was it really, no turning back. And I suppose because I was older and I'd done a lot of things in my life, I felt that, well, there was nothing else to do really but pursue a spiritual kind of direction that I'd known that I would do it one day, and it seemed like the time was right. I fell in love with Triratna, definitely. At first, I think when I found out it was an all-women's retreat, I was a bit suspicious and wondered why and what the point of that was. At the time, I was doing an MSc in counselling in London at Goldsmiths University, and I was in a group there, obviously. We were finishing a 3-year course. And I was very struck when I went to Triratna about how much more significant and what would I say, just deeper the communication was than we'd managed to achieve on this course. You know, we'd done 3 years of training and done all sorts of different counselling methods, and we had what was called a personal development group. And the kind of communication that happened in that group was nowhere near as positive, as kind, or as rich really as the communication that I found being in a group at Triratna. So I was very struck by that, very amazed by that really. I remember Cayman Andy was leading that group, and I remember saying to her, you know, you've done counselling, haven't you? No, she said, I haven't, and I was very struck by it, yeah.